This is a house that probably does not exist in the format that we see. We had already the idea of the Spore, which is a living organism. And when the right circumstances are there, it suddenly grows into something. Some people say, well, is it a museum? I say, no, it's not a museum. It is a place for people to meet, a place to exchange ideas, maybe even to the point where we can agree to disagree. Really, the key is the open dialogue. Neukölln is known for good and bad. You have on the one hand, you have the Hermannstraße, which is one of the busiest streets in Berlin. Lots of noise. And on the other side, you have it very quiet, almost a paradise. And that by itself is wonderful because things happen where there is friction. When you approach the building, it looks like a very monolithic structure, maybe for some people overwhelming and dominant. And then when you enter the building, you have another experience, not at all monolithic and not very uniform. And that's the bridge to our basic idea that we say we want to, in a way, mimic nature. Nature is diverse, nature is also unpredictable. And as you're going through the building, you also can have that experience. We have 3 stories, and the top floor is the offices. Second floor is mainly defined by a library for children's books and the creation of books. On the same floor, we have our major base for workshops, classroom, and that is opening up to a terrace. Below that, we have our exhibition spaces, and the ground floor has a welcoming lobby. Then you get to the auditorium, which seats about not quite 100 people, but it's constructed in a way where we can open it up and can accommodate more people. The auditorium has been furnished with seats that come from old cinema houses, right? That were collected by the architects. They had stored them, always in the expectation that when the time is right, they can be used. We also used concrete that has been recycled. We used recycled bricks. When we constructed the canopy on the terrace outside, that is all done with materials that was used during the construction period. This beacon of light, when we saw that initially, I said, oh my God, that's a real handicap. And then we were told, well, I mean, you can't do anything about it because they have just turned into historical landmarks. And AFF, in their proposal, they from the very beginning integrated that in a way that actually was then realized. And I would say today, I'm very happy because it's almost like a marker. Talking about architecture, architecture is, for me, is proportions, right? And the proportions, the creating of spaces really is very well done here. And this is something where really basically architecture defines itself, or the architects really are differentiating themselves from each other. People feel that. It doesn't matter where they are in the building, they experience this. We built this building for the foundation. It was not driven by how can we maximize space, and not with the idea to go into the market and sell it. and that allowed us to really to look for quality, aesthetics, and beauty, which is very important, to combine activism that we live with aesthetics. And I think we really succeeded in accomplishing that.
Es un motivo de orgullo y celebración observar que a lo largo de más de 30 años, el Día de Muertos que Calarca ha promovido incansablemente en esta ciudad, ha ido generando espacios de convivencia, en donde el mestizaje ha ido construyendo puentes culturales, donde el racismo, la discriminación y los prejuicios de cualquier tipo no tienen lugar.